And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Three Amigos Ink and Splatter virtual open mic poetry night. We have some great poets here tonight. I am your host, Alicia Hodge, by the way. Marie Moldovan can't be with us tonight, but we have Joe Mycutt, who hasn't been on in a while. Hi, Joe.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Just coming back from being under the weather, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am glad we haven't heard your voice in a while here.
Yeah, I know. Glad to be back. Thank you. What?
And yeah, and we have quite a few poets tonight so far, ready to read their stuff. And I think I'm going to let you introduce and talk to the first ones, Joe.
Okay, perfect. Yep. So I have the opportunity of bringing to the stage, if you will, a dynamic duo. It seems we get a two-in-one deal here. And starting us off tonight is going to be Luke and Esther. So you guys just pop in and tell us a little bit about yourself and segue right into what you're going to read for us tonight. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Joel. This is Esther Marcella, and I know. Go ahead. You want to say introduce
Lucas
yourself?
Alandici.
Lucas Alandici, and yeah, you said just get right into it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourselves and
Oh, sure. Well, I'm Esther Marcella. I am the poet laureate of the Living Earth Center Community Gardens here in Mankato, Minnesota. And I just really enjoy and like to encourage people to express themselves. And yeah, that's kind of what I am about. And I'm really happy to be here. And I have some poems for you. And I'm an astrologist as well with eStar Tarot, which is on Facebook if you're interested. Yay!
very
Hi,
cool.
Max.
Very cool.
Oh, what's that?
I said very cool.
Oh, thank you. And so the thing about Australia, we just had a full moon in Taurus, and that's all about embodiment. And so that's kind of the theme that I chose to do tonight for you guys. So the first poem is the only one with preface, and then I'll just get to it. There was a Black August event put on where the Africas from On the Move in Philadelphia. I'm not sure if you don't know what I'm talking about, look them up because they're amazing. But I was really humbled to be asked to write a commemoration poem for Consuela, Africa, and that is what I'm going to start out with the embodiment theme tonight. So embodiment in commemoration of Consuela, Africa. How to be body when bodies brutalized, criminalized, colonized? Why be body if bodies incinerated, confiscated, desecrated? Is there mysterious service of spirit unsolvable on earth? Embodiment of Consuela, Africa essence. Leo roar of heart fire, root foot on earth, legend mind to wind, bearer of mother soul water, ember of ether or eternal ether, embodiment of Consuela, Africa essence. We commemorate your existence. Go within when names are one silence. Bring this sound to ring hands and ring bells. Rest in breath of chest amulet. Revolt with self-love, a line spiral of spine, love the hell out of skin into heaven haven, transcend all paradigms by truth being, earn enemies and friends, resolve the needs of understand, purified by passion, sovereign of minds, wisdoms in motion, righteous with actions, we human the revolution of Gaia's ascension. Thank you. That was in commemoration of Consuela, Africa. This is another kind of commemoration. It's to anyone who's ever been executed. This time I live. This timeline, I crawl from the cabin when he's gone. I eat maple leaves and drink from puddles, dragging my broken legs to a back road. This time I live. My unarmed death doesn't happen. I walk my streets surrounded by my cologne, past police who don't even look up. I make it home and squeeze the woman I love. This time we live. This timeline, 38 and 2, swallow, clamor gallows. Our chests beat the medicine of prairie wind clarity. No trains moan and crows caw carefree. This time I live. After they've smashed the herbs in my chalices, torn my dress and inside smacked my face so many times it turns green with bruising. This time when they tie me to the stake, I take it between my thighs and fly, escape the smoky landscape. All right. And continuing with the theme of embodiment, this is called Only Worship the Temple You Are Breathing. And this poem was inspired by a near-death experience. 41 years on Earth, 3 days before recognized date of this body's birth, I plummet into death. On another planet, I am a human-like cat, thought brain of claws and catch, blood swish, charcoal blue tail swap, purr on branch, assist silence. The 5 moons halt orbit, my incisors jungle saliva sparkle in cold black swoop of assault grounds, glittering enormous dragonfly crunches. I'm the flying, twists and turns of a wicker corridors. I'm the leaving of weaved corners, squeaking, releasing heaviness of iron helmet. I am the soaring above gray hamlet, cliffs and rocks, waves. Once again, I am the return. I'm the mermaid sunk and drunk in ocean, skull slippery under blue breathing skin, gills smiling in salty aqua joy, indigo, my fat body scaled and singing. All right, and then this last one, a little bit more lighter, but it still has scales in it. Interesting, I didn't realize this. When we were reptiles, I know you do not sing for me, sparrow, trembling, unseen, trilling tweet body in window of green or tree leaves. I like to think we were together, 2 pterosaurs over opaque ocean, porous landscape, thumbs spiked into long wings of metallic wind, mirroring horizon of younger sun. And you remind me thoughtlessly in song, hidden behind screen, scaled with ivy. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your body.
What'd you say? Enjoy what?
Oh, I was going to say, enjoy being in your bodies. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Excellent work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I guess that'll bring Luke to the stage.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. My name is Lucas Alandici. I'm a professor of criminology. I'm editor-in-chief of Transformative Justice Journal. I've been a co-poet of Superior, Wisconsin, and published a whole bunch of writings that I'm just going to put in the chat. If you're interested, or I'll put my blog on the pilot of Uamuamua. I have written poetry since probably all my life. I never really took a class on it. I just kind of found my own voice, and that's what it's all about. A couple of weeks ago, it was the anniversary of the Edmund Fitzgerald sinking, and I used to live in Superior, where it last launched, and it's the biggest ship to sink in Lake Superior. It's a big part of that kind of local folklore and everything. So I'm going to read a couple poems from my book, one of my books, Since We Left the Oregon Trail, Poems for the Xennial Generation. A xennial is kind of the cusp generation between Y and X, and now it's millennial. So on the face of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The triangle nose plows through Lake Superior's mouth, end up carving, caving, swallow hole, Edmund F's roof. Brother Edmund Fitzgerald, released by Superior, Wisconsin's launching docks. Eventually, the mad captain of Gitchigumi thought it fun to take port, the EF, to the underground watery sand dunes and rocks. Let's see. Yeah, I can read this one. This one's called Lake Nokomis. It's a small lake in Wisconsin. Ducks, water bogs, folks, white as weather, perusing, cruising, using on liquid glass. Chug the rudder is flutter of vainglorious propeller blade. It skies through water, arousing tiny shot glass rapids, slap beating the lazy lake, glorious hands nature wrought, polished Lincoln log houses and wicked pine needles as Lake Nokomis march a walk amongst footsteps of youth, memories of size 10s, all washed off. And I was going to read a poem called "No One Wants to Be the Scorpio" last week, but I finally found it. I just wrote it on my 40th birthday. Called "No One Wants to Be the Scorpio." And bodies full of war, slowly choking on rage's manifesto, an apocalypse clipped around my throat to hurt hell. I made to carry buffering ossuary of heart debt with emotions taxed with feelings. Living about shadows glade made vocation to be zoetically revenant amongst who failed to heed the ask the cause of rain. Alienated from my continued and distant brain, reinforced in sanguine melancholy, always fast forwarding to yesterday, to be made to criticize the dawn, using reality's swagger for own purposes, and sweet generosity drowning with negative vibrations. The last insult the ear sees is the gunning goodbyes. I want you to remember this. Those waves walk towards me. The dorsal fin comes intercoursing in acute gray, perpetually intense, dripping into wet October, sermonizing, being spanked out of an ocean meniscus. Who hunts our bright oblongatas as animals? Always taking my fire gone. We Scorpios are inheritors of night drown, mimicking wilds, a sensation so shucked, giving poems an abnormal birth, scribing genera and genderless colors, as the birthright to Mars, accusing of manipulating sound. For first contact with the outer sphere star friends should be harem of Scorpio poets before the rockets clip their steel necks on Pluto's moonclaw. And that is No One Wants to Be a Scorpio. I shall read one more from my book called Since We Left the Oregon Trail. Monsoon rain again towards last night. Monsoon rained. Rain, my brother Adam cautioned me about the Most High. His lonely apple cries, I've entered worlds, underground delegate member part of. I walk a shamed puppy dog. I open my chest spikes to authentic pure bullets, dig up under the rain-leaden ground to Easter up, motivation for a 34-year-old to typhoon. And thank you so much.
Absolutely. Great work. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight, Luke and Esther.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you guys so much. That was awesome. We're so glad you could join us again.
Yeah.
And so next up we have Max Myers. Hi, Max.
There we
You
go.
there?
I am indeed.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Little beautiful day today. Gosh, so beautiful the last couple days. We had a week of fog, and we've had 2 days of clear blue sky now, and it's just wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a nice day here today too.
Yeah.
and I was glad for it. There's been a lot of cold and rain, so it was nice to see the sun.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have your bio up tonight, as you can
Oh, that's
see. Do you want
okay.
to just tell us a
Yep.
little bit about yourself real quick and maybe the books that you have out? And then I can
Well,
let you read.
the book that I'm currently um, showing the world or exposing is called Nowhere to Go But Here, and it's available on Amazon. Um, if you Google Max Myers books, it'll bring up a page that'll show you other things that I've written. Um, you know, writing books is like you can put the stuff out there. Really, not many people buy poetry books, so I think that we write them just as a sense of accomplishment for ourselves. And if they're received, fine. If they're not received, well, that's okay. At least that's my attitude about it. I'm I'm happy just writing. So anyway,
Yeah.
72 years old. Been writing poetry. I guess my first poem was in the third grade, um, and there were many years skipped in between there and my teenage years, and picked it up again when I was about 16. And um, so anyway, um, I guess I'm kind of like an old school um, poet. Um, anyway, I'm going to
Yeah.
get to it. This first one here is called Morning Dew. I sleep with an ear to the night. Perhaps the angels may whisper to me as I lay in rest, breathing lightly the night air. Do take to dream and adventures. Far from my bed, I am sped away. At last returning to my sleeping form, just as daylight stirs and the sleepers awake, hearing the crows call their sisters for breakfast as my ventures fade into the morning dew. This next one is called Hearts. Chambered hearts hold riddles and finery mistaken for flesh's spirit, not too removed from a maze, nor able to escape the whispers. Peep through curtains at the windows to the next room seems bare. Were one to compare one to the other. Still, some doors are locked, keys lost, or perhaps misplaced in a drawer. Secrets written on little scraps of paper, tucked away, scented just so not to be forgotten, those better times. When one could come and go freely, where flowers were changed in the vase on the table, set gently upon the lace doily. These chambers held silently and close, hold such riddles within the heart. Um, this next one I posted, and then I posted beneath it. I said, "Can you guess what I'm talking about?" Um, and I'll give it up after I read it. It's called The Creeping Crud. Out of the mud came creeping the crud, so novel and harmless it appeared. It was simply amazing to watch it crawl, though its movements were kind of weird. Movements were kind of weird. When it started, we marveled at just how could this be, where once there was one by itself. Now, lo and behold, we're surprised to find three. Just look at them, would you? Their numbers have increased by tenfold. They're creeping wider and wider. It's so much faster and bold. This crud is about to glut up the way from north, south, east, and west, converging everywhere, all hours of the day. Soon we'll be out of room for the crud, praying it had never crawled out of the mud. There is an omen here of impending doom, for their numbers are increasing faster than room. Any idea?
Humans.
Humans?
Yeah.
No. Automobiles and roads.
Ah,
What?
got it.
Automobiles and highways. They can't build them fast enough to keep up with the ever increasing number of cars using them. It is just insane. Anyway, that was that. This one's called Out of the Woods. Dense were the woods of my youth, tall trees that blocked out the sun, strange sounds from the undergrowth, and narrow paths with hanging obstacles that clung and scratched, challenged. It was not hard to be turned about there, but beelines were very difficult to follow. The eeriness and solitude seemed too close, always a sense of being watched all around. Those youthful excursions have since passed. I am out of the woods these recent years. Trees aren't quite so tall as they were then, the strange sounds now more familiar, while the eeriness of solitude befriends me. And too, I know all living things are watching. The deep woods of my youth are remembered. Its paths into and out became well worn. As I recall those woods, I am there once more. I'm sure it must have been only yesterday when I walked out of the woods. Can I keep going? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we forget? This is called Do We Forget? Does one ever forget their pain or let loose of their sorrows? Amend what one can and forgive? Is there room in which we lock away tears, regrets, the shame that on certain occasions are unlocked, released like ghosts to haunt with memory? Perhaps they are kept as reminders, markers of where one might not again tread. And the pain brings close the possibility, should one venture that way once more. I think we do not forget our pain, nor our sorrows, regrets, our shame, but bear them as scars of living, perhaps poor choices or lost chances. That they remain seems the fact. Still, we have weathered the storms, redirected our lives where possible, having had a change of heart, may be thankful for the occasional that separates then from now. Next one is called Trains. I remember as a little boy, in my mind, I can still see those trains. They were far off in the distance, but they amazed me somehow. I never wondered where they were going. It was just the sight of those long trains with someone pushing the engines far in the distance, too far to hear, but for me, not too far to enjoy. And I got two more here and then I'll be finished. This one's called Enduring. They say that no one dies if kept alive within someone's heart. I think of those whom I hold dear, their faces fresh as this morning, with the music of their voices in my ears, their smiles and manners remembered well. They are entertained within my memory, such as were the moments shared together, present like the eye of a camera, fondly held in trust in my embrace. One might pray that everyone who has ever lived has just such a heart, to hold their memory as we're alive still, wrapped in love's sweetness enduring. And finally, this one's called Waters of Life. Waters of Love, I'm sorry. Deep within the well springs of my grateful heart, wherein emerge such insights of beauty, pure and splendid, above the reproach of denial, there appears a sense of the universe undressed from the Creator's undying gift of life, offered up without condition or expectation, radiantly and with passion continuous. It is the manifestation of a divine love bestowed, generously awarded for all the world, seen within the well springs of my grateful heart. And that's it for me. Wake up. Time to wake up.
Well, thank you, Max. No, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
Um, well, the other poets who we're going to read tonight actually haven't shown up, so that might be it for us tonight. Kind of a short
Wow.
one.
No Stewart
Um,
tonight?
no Stuart tonight either. No, I didn't hear from Stuart.
Oh,
But
man.
hopefully next week we'll get some more people together. But I appreciate you guys very much coming on, and I enjoyed hearing your work so much. And yeah, thank you very much.
Well, thank you
Sorry,
for
it's a short one
hosting.
tonight.
But nothing from you or Joe?
So unfortunately, if I try to read any of mine, I don't have my laptop with me where I am, and it will cut out my voice if I try to go to a different screen on my phone.
I
So
see.
I am unable to read any of mine tonight. Joe, do you want to read some after all, or are you okay?
I could maybe, if I can get on this ladder here and get my book, I guess I could read a couple.
That make
Yeah.
Yay, Joe!
Let's see
Joe
here.
saves the night.
No, got it. I may even repeat a few that I've done on shows before. Pardon me here while I climb. Give me just a brief moment.
All right.
Did I lose you?
Nope.
Hey, did I lose you?
Nope, we're here.
Okay, I'm trying to find my book here.
Okay.
Mhm. Can't you sing us a song, Alicia? Something there to fill the air?
Oh, sorry about that. I mean, I
Can
can
y'all
try. I don't know if I could
can
sing
y'all hear
super
me?
right now, though.
Yep. Yep.
Joe.
Okay, I managed to climb a ladder and dig my book down from the attic space here. Whew, might be a little winded, but can you hear me?
Yep.
We can hear you.
All right, so I'll try to add to our airtime here and read a few off the cuff. Like I mentioned, some of them may be repeats from times before, so forgive me. And we'll start with one called Journey into Earth. Somewhere back there is where I must look. I'll search high and low, every cranny and nook. It looks just like a place of fairy tales from long ago that I've read about in a book. This adventure is a story that isn't first read, but traveled, then written about instead. I'm not scared to enter that space. There is no fear in my heart or laced upon my face. Why should I be scared to enter such a mystical scene, to step foot through a passage so enchanted, beautiful, and green? Nothing that lived down there can surely be mean, waiting to feast on my blood-curdling screams. But how can I be certain? What fate awaits behind that mossy curtain? What I seek, I search for with a heart that's meek, but insistently not weak. Although I must admit that with every creeping doubt, pardon me, Although I must admit that with every creeping doubt, my hope for a fairy tale ending rather than doom impending grows more and more bleak. So down that path, way down there, across the meadow, alongside the creek, I shall follow. Deep into the woods enchanted, I tell myself this rather than haunted, despite the sounds of distance and sinister laughter. I shall discover on this quest what it is I've been scavenging after. As I embark upon this journey, I walk under an archway engraved with a forewarning of which I read and take heed. Chiseled into the stone, just there above an abandoned ladder, be vigilant of the length of your visit here, for if you stay any longer than a day, you just may find yourself to be a resident who's become mad as a hatter. Let's see here. The next one is called Sustained Smile. If your smile isn't gone, have you then traversed the darkest depths of yourself, gone to the places necessary for you to heal your traumas and let anger rest so that you may have the chance to live? If your smile is still there, have you gone as far as possible to do your part and rescue yourself and the collective of humanity of which you are a part of? If your smile still dresses your face, warming your image to those that behold you, have you really faced those things so unimaginable that they render smiles impossible? Is a smile authentic after the greatest descent into oneself and into that of reality beyond illusion? Or is a smile a residual reflex of the body, lingering from times of fairy tales bygone? How can you smile and push love and light, as if to promote amnesia of the memories of the terrifying truths you faced, if facing them you truly have done? Or have you come into the presence of these very horrors and preserved your smile for later use? Is it me, in fact, who went to these places, confronted these faces, and returned having left mine behind? That smile that once decorated my now unfamiliar face. Let's see here if I get a couple of more in here. This one's called Where the Green Grass Grows. Hey over there with your grass evergreen, so beautiful and pristine. Please tell me, neighbor, how do you keep your lawn so manicured and clean? Your grass over there is pure perfection. It's the greenest green I've ever seen. My grass isn't so brilliant and bright or full of life like yours. To have the same, I could only dream. Well, I'm not sure, the neighbor replies. I hadn't really noticed your lawn, to tell you no lies. I guess maybe there it is, the source of your agricultural blunder. It's that you're so full of wonder about the grass over yonder that you direct all your energy there as you gander, covet, and ponder. You see, I focus on my grass and give it my best. I take no notice of your side of the fence or any of the rest. I till and toll, row after row, and invest in myself, and my grass being greener, this effort does show. Maybe worry more about your lawn and less about mine, and just maybe your own green grass next time that catches your eye. All right. This one is called Fallen. As the snow-weighted leaves did so, I also fell, with a heart as cold as ice and a rage that burned like hell. I left without warning, not a single farewell. Into the night I vanished beyond sight. I set out for my soul to fight. Down at the depths in which I landed from such a height, I no longer kneeled to the expectations of wrong or right, this illusionary standard having for too long muzzled my bite. I am wild and free by nature, having forgotten myself to be such a creature. I set out to reclaim my identity as the one with not one in particularly. The same way I fell with snowflakes, I also rode the waves of the wind, never to return the same again. And then lastly, I will read The Tale of a Whale's Tale. A whale of a tale does this tale of a whale tell, washed upon the shore and petrified by time so well. Once the largest and most docile of all the ocean swimmers, now a land dweller sitting dead on a sandy seat, and in the dead of the heat it simmers. Maybe Moby, Monstro, or Willie, but no matter the name, here remains its matter, remains all the same. A beast lay here as marked by its bones, wearing the skin of wood, staking claim to the fact that from the depths of the abyss a monster here stood. Beached from its watery home, no longer will it roam freely beneath the sea foam. It's come to rest in a place that's best for rest, upon the shoreline of a beach, no longer within the tide's reach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Those were awesome, as usual. Thank you, everybody, very much again. I guess that wraps it up for tonight.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
We will see you all next week. Thank you.
That's
Good
right.
night.
Great.
Great. Good night.
Good night. Good night.